I am very pleased that each and every one of you is here, and I'm glad that so many community members have joined us today. I'd like to take a moment to welcome the Law Office of the Liberty Mutual Group in Merrillville. We also have several elected leaders with us, and I invite them to stand and be recognized and ask that you hold your applause until all of our leaders have been recognized. First, United States Congressman Pete Visclosky, State Senator Ed Charbonneau, State Representative Ed Soliday, and the Mayor of the City of Valparaiso and a graduate from our School of Law, John Costas. We're honored that you're with us today. Thank you. I commend those who have conceived the idea and planned that first commemoration of Dr. King on this campus 22 years ago. And I commend those who have continued this vigil, working toward Dr. King's vision for justice and equality in this nation. Let us ponder Dr. King's appeal for nonviolence and his words calling for brotherhood and sisterhood as we consider this year's MLK celebration theme, Justice as a Team Sport. Since joining Valparaiso University's faculty in 1990, Dr. Jimin Lin has amassed a remarkable list of accomplishments. He established and led Valparaiso University's Chinese and Japanese Studies program, created the university's Hangzhou Study Center, recruited numerous Chinese students and scholars to this campus, advanced many academic partnerships with Chinese universities, and collaborated with the Valpo-based Confucius Institute. In 2002, Dr. Lin helped Valpo win a $1.78 million Freeman Grant to support our Chinese programs, and in 2005 helped the university win the first of 3 U.S. Department of Education grants totaling more than $500,000 to support intensive Chinese language programs. Dr. Lin has been instrumental in bringing nearly 100 visiting Chinese scholars to this campus to study and interact with Valpo faculty and students, as well as community members. An equal number of university faculty members and community leaders in Northwest Indiana have visited China with him. Exemplifying the principles espoused by Dr. King through his leadership and service in the cause of social justice, freedom, and equality, Dr. Lin's ongoing dedication continues to strengthen connections between China, the campus, and the larger region. Dr. Lin, Valparaiso University truly is a more culturally rich, academically rich, and socially rich place because of your commitment and tireless efforts. And on behalf of all of us, we say congratulations. It is my honor and my pleasure to present the Andrew Schulze Award to the Reverend Carl E. Lutze. Pastor Lutze carried on the work began by Reverend Schulze by collaborating with local churches and working with community leaders to break down the racial barriers here in Valparaiso and beyond. Pastor Lutze was instrumental in planning, coordinating, and teaching in an exchange program involving students from Valpo and Miles College, an African-American institution of the Christian Methodist Episcopal Church in Birmingham, Alabama. Thank you for your lifetime of leadership and service. Valparaiso University is proud of you. Congratulations.
For her work with children who are refugees from war-torn countries, Luma Mufla has been awarded the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Service Award, the Smith College Medal, and the Common Ground Award, which is presented annually to honor accomplishments in conflict resolution, negotiation, community building, and peacemaking. She has appeared on numerous television segments, including CNN, The Today Show, CBS, and ESPN. Stories about Luma have also been featured in the New York Times, on National Public Radio, and Sports Illustrated. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a warm welcome for Luma Mufla.
I grew up as the oldest of 4 children in a Muslim household in Amman, Jordan. As a child, I was very well off and privileged. Everything was handed to me. I lived in a house with maids, chauffeurs, nannies, and cooks. We had all this because both of my grandfathers were self-made millionaires. Fast forward to 1997, the year I graduated from college. I had made the decision to stay in the United States to make a life of my own instead of going home to Jordan and live the life that was carved out for me. Perhaps part of it was me being naive, and part of it thinking that I could do it on my own just like my grandparents did, that I didn't need everything handed to me. My parents weren't happy with my decision and made it very clear that if this was my choice, I would have to do it on my own. For the next few years, I had no direction in my life. I jumped around from job to job, moving from Boston to Highlands, North Carolina, and eventually to Atlanta. I applied to law school, but then decided that I didn't want to go. I freelanced doing web and graphic design, and then I opened up a cafe. And every time I spoke to my parents, and sometimes my friends, they would say, "Is this what you're doing with your life?" And I didn't have an answer for them. I would get depressed when my alumni quarterly came, and I would read about the great things my classmates were doing, and I too would wonder, am I doing what I'm supposed to do with my life? I was afraid of failure, but I was also terrified of success, because the definition of success was always status and financial wealth. I was lost, I had no direction in my life, and I felt no purpose. At that point, the only thing that I had been enjoying, coaching my girls' soccer team, was starting to feel meaningless. And then one day, on a drive that I had taken many times to the Middle Eastern grocery store that I frequent, I saw kids playing soccer. They were outside their apartment complexes playing barefoot and arguing over a goal. I watched these kids play for about an hour, and at the end I was smiling. These kids reminded me of home. They reminded me of the way I had played soccer. Looking at them, I realized they were all refugees, all trying to assimilate and make a life for themselves in this country. Well, the 6 of us were not enough for a team, so I put flyers around the neighborhood announcing our team. I also had it translated into 4 different languages and started handing it out to the kids that I thought were about the right size. The boys did their part by telling their friends. For the first time in a long time, I had something to be really excited about. I stood up for my kids because that was the right thing to do. I never had this incredible plan for what to do. The kids and their families have taught me what was needed. They showed me that you can't survive on minimum wage in this country. They showed me the racism and classism in this country and how ugly it can be. And they taught me that it was far from okay. I get comments to this day about why I'm coaching these refugee kids. People think that I could be doing more with my life, that I could be making a lot more money if I'd gone to law school. But the truth is, I love coaching my kids, and I can't see myself doing anything else.